Welcome back to Connect and Transform. This is the next video in the checkers series, creating a game of checkers from an SVG, or in an SVG, I should say. In the last video, we left off here. We have proposed a few constants and just left them commented out. We're going to begin by implementing the game mode, at least to the extent that it can interact with the URL, so that when the SVG is embedded in a page, URL parameter, we'll call it mode, can be used to determine whether it's human-human, human-machine, or machine-machine play. So let's get started. So we're going to use this name game mode for our variable. And we're going to initialize it as human-human. And we're also going to make sure to grab the URL parameters. So we'll create a variable called, or constant called URL params, and that'll be tossed into this structure here, URL search params, and we'll give that structure the actual URL query string. Document.location.search. So now down here where we're actually making things happen, we're going to make some more things happen. So we're going to say if URL params.get mode, in other words, if this mode is set as a parameter on the URL, then we're going to begin parsing it. So we'll say if that value dot to lowercase dot index of human is not equal to -1. In other words, all this is saying is if human exists in the URL parameter called mode. So if mode contains human and if it also contains machine, then we'll use that as our indicator that the game mode should be set to human machine, which is one of the three options that I've proposed so far. Otherwise, if it's not going to be human machine, but it contains machine, then we're going to say that the mode is machine machine. Otherwise, we're going to say that the game mode is human human. Now this particular line is probably not necessary because human human is the default value, but by doing the same assignments and the same blocks of code logic, we're maintaining a degree of consistency here. I think it's good to do so. And then also we need to cover the case where there are no URL parameters or there's no mode parameter in the URL, then we'll treat that condition as being human human. The next thing we're going to do is in the information box to the right of the board, we're going to add a section for the game mode. And within this, we're going to have an anchor tag. And that anchor tag is going to have some ID that we can reference, and it's going to have an href, a link, okay, and we're going to call this a mode link for human mode, and the href will be to the local file, so we'll just start with a question mark. We're going to say mode for our parameter name, and we're going to say that it equals human. It should not matter that we're capitalizing the h's because we're making sure to lowercase before checking for the occurrence of things that are fully lowercased. Let's copy this now 2 more times for the 2 other modes. So we're going to have human machine and machine machine. And then we want to make sure to copy this value into our label. In other words, we want to make sure that we're actually showing some text on the screen. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to check the positioning of this group. So the last group was at 290, so we're going to set this one at 410. And we're going to set this one maybe at 430, 460, 490. We'll keep the x's the same. Let's go ahead and save this, and then we'll refresh over here. Okay, so we can see our links. We have a cursor. When we click on them, we can see up here that it's appending the mode, and the mode is changing. But it doesn't look that great. So let's change that. So up here in the CSS, we're going to reference the text elements within the anchor tag. We're going to set them by default. The same dark blue gray color, and then we're going to say text decoration underline. And then we're also going to give whichever anchor is selected, we're going to make it bold. So now we need to go make sure that this selected class gets added to the correct anchor. So if the game mode is human machine, then we're going to do document query selector. So if it's human machine, we're going to reference this anchor ID. And then we will say class list dot add selected. Okay, so I'm going to copy that whole line, and we're going to do a similar thing for all the other conditions. So in this case, we're talking about machine machine. In this case, human human. And same here. So let's save that. Let's go over here and refresh on the left-hand side of the screen. So we see that human machine is currently bolded. And if I'm clicking on any of these, changing the location, changing the mode, it changes which one is bolded. We can get into the finer details of the appearance later, but the basic logic there is happening where it is collecting the mode, it's updating the mode based on the URL. So now we know we're in a place where the SVG could be embedded and it could update the game mode. I think we're going to end the video there, and we'll keep it short, and we'll start another one shortly. Thanks for watching.